Hey, After Buzzers, welcome to an exciting episode of Dead of Summer. Now, you want to stay tuned because we have a special guest, and it does not involve someone who died. So, stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, guys. Like I said, welcome to another awesome episode of Dead of Summer After Show. I'm your host, Kari Lane, stepping in for Sam. She will be back next week, so don't worry. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's at Karidlane. And other side note, it's my birthday today, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
Happy birthday!
And my awesome co-host, ladies.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to be sharing this day with you. Hi guys, my name is Amber Plaster, and you guys can tweet me your predictions. I love it, at Amber Plaster.
And the other big thing we have going on today, we have Alex, who you might recognize from the show, you know, on
Maybe.
Skype, is Ronen Rubinstein. Say hello.
Hi, guys.
Yay. Well, you know, it's not in person, but we are so happy to have you here on Skype. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I know this is a bit unusual for you guys, but I guess it works.
Hey, it's all good. So, guys, if we're like looking up in a corner, that's where we're seeing them on our TV. Well, again, thank you so much for this episode. And so we're just going to ask you some questions while we go through and just kind of talk about the episode. And feel free to chime in about anything of the experience filming it or just what you thought of the episode.
Absolutely.
All right. And, well, we know you didn't die this episode.
Yeah.
You came
Yeah.
close.
Close.
Yeah, that was, I mean, every single episode, you know, when you watch it, it's completely different than when you're reading it. And this one especially, because I feel like since last week, I would say, the show has been really going to the direction that the writers really wanted to make sure the audience was feeling in the whole, you know, horror and really, really feel the genre of the show. And I feel like making a major move as in killing one of the counselors, I think it's a big, big twist. And, you know, it's essential to a show like this. You know, you start to get close to these characters, but, you know, it's part of the show. And it's crazy because, you know, Joel is definitely a fan favorite. And he was personally Alex's homie. So it was, yeah, it was rough when we first heard about that. But, yeah, it was crazy.
Now, random question. Do your family or friends ever get, like, nervous watching you in the show? Like, oh, man, are you going to die?
Yeah, because I try not to. I don't spoil the show for anybody, even my mom. And so yeah, every week it's completely brand new and fresh to them. You know, a couple of times I have had people visit me on set during a few of the episodes, but nothing really spoils to them. So for family and friends, it's just like everybody else watching it. So I'm sure it's, you know, they're on high alert every time something happens.
Any opening questions, co-hosts?
I thought it was really interesting, and this might be jumping ahead, but I thought it was really interesting that Amy, who I wrote down from the start, Kari and I were watching this together, and I was like, Amy's acting very manipulative this episode, and I am not having it. And I just knew that she was off from the start.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so, like, it was weird that, like, nobody else was really acknowledging it. And then what weirded me out was your character, Ronen, as Alex, went up to her almost immediately after she spoke to Jesse and was like, no, Jesse, everything's fine. And then, like, a very short amount of time passed, and then next time we see Amy, Alex is like, hey, good speech you gave there. And I was like, oh, is Alex in on it too? So, but it turns out Alex just, like, has a puppy dog crush on her. So.
I don't know. I found it very odd that Amy's plan was to get everyone together and she was going to kill Alex but didn't. In that kind of scene, that person dies. Like, if they're innocent, I feel like he would have been dead. So it makes me a little suspicious of him. Like, it was planned because he has more to do for this. I don't know. I'm starting to get suspicious of Alex. I feel like he should have died if he was innocent.
Oh my gosh, that goes with what I wrote down. I was like, why did she, like,
I literally wrote
almost
Alex
kill
is
Alex?
bad.
Oh, I was like, Alex lived, and then she like reached for Joel on purpose, and I didn't put that together until you just said that.
She waited until everyone showed up to then not kill Alex and kill Joel instead. That's fishy.
And also, who brought the knife? Was it Amy?
I think he
No,
did. I think it
I-
fell out of Alex's
Yeah.
pocket.
Alex did. Yeah, it fell out of his pocket.
Interesting. Very interesting, Ronen.
Yeah, see, I, completely honest, don't know why he brought his knife. I think it's just something that he has on him at all times, but we haven't really, confirmed in the show. But yeah, I mean, I can't say much, but I whatever. You think Alex is bad, it's all good.
I was gonna say you might have it a little bit easier there, previous guests, because you don't have us hounding you in person. You know, you get to hide behind a screen to get that
True.
poker face going.
We were really hard on
but-
your co-star Amber.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And well, he did have the pocket knife at the beginning, cutting the tags off the clothes. So, did we establish, was that something his grandfather gave him?
Yep. Out of
So that's
very
why
young
he keeps
age.
it all the time.
We went over this. Yeah,
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
So
Okay.
it's just something
Throwback.
He does have it on him.
Yeah.
However,
It's not that weird.
Thank you.
but he didn't die. He didn't
Yes.
die.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he would have
would have been
died.
very easy for her to kill
Something
him.
So easy. And you think what? You think because the demon wants a boyfriend? I don't think so.
Okay. Well, this, we'll get into what the other stuff happened in this episode. We finally get to know Jesse's backstory.
Yes.
Finally, right?
Finally, I know.
Oh, we've been watching
Seriously.
that.
Awesome story.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How now as when you're doing the show running, you don't really get to know other people's backstories until you get that script, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna give you a little inside scoop.
Ooh.
I don't read anybody else's backstory, so when I'm watching the episode, I'm actually completely surprised, just like a regular viewer.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yay. That's so cool.
Because you obviously make sure that it has nothing to do with your character and there's no connections. But it seems like nobody's, maybe except for Blair and Cricket, it seems like nobody's backstory connects. So I feel like so far it's worked. And if you guys see me watching the episode with the cast, there's a lot of curses thrown out because I have no idea that kind of stuff is about to happen. And especially today. I knew obviously Joe was going to get killed, but the whole thing with Jesse's mom and when she was in the car and she's like, Northwestern, I'm your mom. And I was like, what? That's your daughter's future. So, that's, I feel like that's been working so far and it makes it a bit more interesting.
I bet that would be a crazy experience to be acting it and then not know. But then it is true to your character in a way that you only learn those things as they tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're at camp,
Yeah.
and right, they're supposed
Yeah,
to be different
exactly.
people. So
Yeah.
it would make sense for him to not know as much, so that he could pretend to be as new as possible at camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I like doing it like that.
Cool. So we finally get to know about Braces, and she's a very intelligent young woman. I love her short hair, by the way. Oh my gosh, it's so
She
cute.
looks great both ways.
She looks good always.
Every time I was like, oh, that
That's-
looks pretty too. Oh, that
That's
looks
Paulina
pretty too.
in real life, short hair.
she's
That's how
gorgeous.
we've gotten used to her.
Oh, nice. Well, because it's like you see somebody's look on a show, and then you nerds, film nerds like us, we go look everybody up on IMDb, and then you see the other photos, and you're like, oh my gosh, your hair is like this length, or like something's a little different about them. But yeah, she was so fun to see that, and her mom, is not the role model.
Nope.
I was not having her mom the entire episode. I was
But
just
there
like,
are-
oh, you're the one who's going to get in a car accident, and she's going to take the blame
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
I
Because
saw
she's
that.
your babysitter.
Yeah.
Meh.
That is, but there are parents like that, and then especially mother-daughters, like if you're really close
Oh,
in
yeah.
age, they're
Oh,
like
yes.
buddies. But the mom totally abuses it, and so Jesse comes home, there's this party going on, the mom is high, and like she's just like, whoa, mom, you need. So it's so fun to see Jesse be so responsible. Well, not that she's not responsible, but
she it made sense for me that she was really smart, because she was like she's really quick to be spiteful with Drew, like in the first episode, and was like, oh, well, then I will share your secret. Like she was just like so guarded and so like sprung tight and ready to like take care of business, because she has to be at any given moment because her parents are just a mess.
Unstable, yeah.
So I guess it makes sense why, like, we honestly, Ronen had a really hard time liking Jesse's character for a good long time. We had a
I
hard time.
I remember watching the first few reviews. You guys were just not. I remember you weren't for Jesse and you weren't for Alex.
no offense.
I enjoyed Alex's backstory,
none taken.
Yes.
The only reason I liked Alex was because I was like, everyone's supposed to be someone different, so he's not really this, like, douchey character that he kind of puts off at camp. And then we went to the backstory. I was like, that's so cool. I wonder what else he can get away with. And
Good reason.
I don't know. Does it make him a not douchey guy?
It makes him interesting to me.
Interesting. But you know what? After this episode, looking back, it just makes him more suspicious in my eyes. Like, going back to his backstory, what we found out is that he's pretending to be someone he's not, with clothing trying to appear richer, trying to appear like, that's weird. Like, why? It did not give us a reason why, aside from like this guy was terrible to his dad, and like he felt maybe he was trying to be defensive, but like that's a bad thing to do to anyone, regardless of history. Two wrongs don't make a right. So I don't know. I'm starting to really worry about Alex.
All right. Then we go.
Fair enough.
We come back to our present day. Deb's talking about they're going to be using the state police because Garrett's being kind of investigated, obviously for good reason. And everyone's together, but camp is going to be shutting down. Oh no. And they have about 48 hours before reporters and the press gets wind of all this. So let's make it special. This is where everything starts getting suspicious. Now, a thing we talked about. Anybody else notice that we were missing a character this episode? Where was Blair?
The entire episode.
See a smile.
Nowhere. And Drew was in it just a little bit, but Drew kind of is like, on the fringe a little bit of, not really wanting to mingle as much. But Blair normally is a little more social. Where was Blair? Anybody have suspicions? Or just, oh wait, that was weird. Where was he?
Is he dead? I have no idea. I just know that if I was one of those friends, I would probably notice someone's missing. Like, for instance, Sam's not here today. I wasn't just, like, going through the whole episode not realizing one of us is gone. How did they not notice that when people are dying? Or you're not like, oh, where's Blair?
How did Drew not notice?
Right?
Yeah,
well, Drew was
wouldn't notice.
barely even in
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
Drew should definitely be keeping tabs on Blair.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question, man.
And then we got a lot of interesting pairings in this episode of like two people having a conversation and then like that rotating throughout. So we get Amy and Jesse, oh my gosh, thanks for saving my life. And at first I was like, all right, maybe they're kind of making up. But then what'd you think of Amy going, hey, you should do something with Garrett, you should do something about that. And you're like, okay.
I thought literally everything Amy said this episode was off.
Like,
from she walks up to the lake and she's like, isn't it nice to pretend like you're at home here? And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you know what got me? That very beginning when Deb was giving the speech and it like shows everyone and Amy's she smiles.
Yeah.
I'm like, you almost died. How are you smiling?
Oh, I didn't notice that. Good call.
Yeah, I was like, something's up with her.
She was just very off the entire episode.
Yeah.
So I kind of didn't like that because I knew something was possessing her.
A little too
yeah.
obvious.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to find it out on my own a little bit. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Then we get this crazy eclipse that came out of nowhere, which, those are generally really easily predicted in a way. So coming out of nowhere, I was like, well, that's weird. Nobody else was like, hey, that's weird. Except for Garrett. He's like, that wasn't supposed to happen.
I think
Alex said that was crazy. How do we not know there was an eclipse coming?
Yeah, well, at least you noticed. You're like, hey, that was different.
and Deb mentioned, she's like, there wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I'm a little freaked out by this.
It was just Amy that was like, wow, how beautiful. Like, she just, whoa.
It's because we didn't have the weather app on our phones.
Man, that
No,
explains
almanacs.
it.
The
Not an
almanac?
89, man.
Yeah. It still would have been
But Deb would have known
people
because she would
know.
have been like, hey, campers,
Yeah.
there's going to be an eclipse. Like, get ready for it. What a
Yeah.
fun time we'll have.
Let's make those things so you can look at the eclipse,
Yeah.
like those school
Yeah.
projects. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deb was so funny this episode. I love her just trying to like figure out what's going on.
Yes.
She's like, guys, tell me what's going on. Like, and the whole episode, she just wants answers, and it's just Deb like watching everyone and then coming up after me.
Weird
You
creeper.
need to tell me. I thought it was hysterical.
The whole time I'm thinking, like, you know.
But now
You
I'm
don't like Deb.
maybe.
Like she's been here the longest. Yeah, I can't with Deb. I can't.
But then she like just remembered something happened in
She's like,
1970.
maybe I'm trying to remember. Oh,
What
stop
did you
it.
block out, lady?
And then we got Jesse goes into this crazy vision during the eclipse, and we get Cricket back. But
Yeah.
the thing,
That was cool.
anybody else notice this? Because I thought about it later. It's weird that she comes back in this vision and has scars. Because if it was your vision of her, like her presenting herself to you, she would have no scars because that's how Jesse remembers her, without the scars. And then the wound, it'd be wounds. They shouldn't have healed. So I just thought that was really weird.
Wait, but let
not
me ask you a
really-
question. That's a really good point. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who is controlling Jesse's visions?
Is Holyoke. Possibly, because he's the one who gave her the instructions, and it seems like that was the only way I could get my message to you guys. But why would he present Cricket in that way? Because, again, it would be open wounds because she died, so they don't have time to heal. I don't know. It's just like a weird
You
logistics
guys are
question.
super. I really have to applaud you guys for being super detail oriented. I've noticed that in every single episode.
Oh, that's so nice.
No, seriously, you guys like actually like dig into it. It's really refreshing.
Well, there's
Instead
a lot of
just be like, oh,
details.
today,
Yes.
blah blah blah. Okay, thank you.
There's a lot of details to the show, and I think
Yeah.
that's a testament to the writing team on the show. Because
Yeah, they definitely will appreciate that.
just like I like looked up as soon as someone said, "Oh, the eclipse like lets the demons out," and I looked up on Google, do eclipses have a legend of being demons? Yes, they do. It's like a thing in the world that is like supposed to be a saying and whatever in Ireland. It's like, oh, when there's an eclipse, it's a demon pretending to take a bite out of the sun or something like that. And I was like, oh, that they were accurate about that.
Well, it makes sense. The sun is life, and if the sun disappears, heck yeah, you freak out and
Just
make some
little
legend
details.
about it. That's really
Yeah, and I remember reading today on Twitter, Adam Horowitz, one of the creators, mentioned that Holyoke is an actual demonic figure from history.
Oof.
So that's kind of really
Unfortunate
creepy.
name.
Oh.
Yes.
And not to jump ahead on the flashback to
Yeah.
1870.
We'll just say 1800s.
1800s. It was very Jonestown to me, which I was really disappointed in. And then it was Jonestown for like 4 seconds, and then those guys, the militia, came in and killed them, and I was like, it's not a cult. Well,
not
maybe
the-
it was a cult, but like they didn't drink the Kool-Aid and then
No, it
kill
wasn't the
themselves.
militia who killed them. Because
It
they
was
said
the
the
mass-
militia are coming.
It was the mass people who referred to the militia.
Yes. But that's a different, we'll get into that.
So,
'Cause
yeah.
Yeah, that one's,
I enjoyed that because I didn't see that
yeah.
coming.
No, not at all. Because someone in the chat just asked, is Holyoke a good guy? We'll answer that question. Hey, who thinks Holyoke's a good guy? I want to say yes.
I don't
Gonna go
know
with
because
yes.
there's 2 more episodes, so they have to throw more at us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so I'm not, okay, here's the thing. If he is a good guy,
Okay.
he really needs to take a class in communication.
Thank you. Thank
warn
you.
people.
Yes.
Like, we
Well,
were
he
talking about
is
this
from the
forever ago.
1800s, so
Why are you
maybe
gonna
he
treat
doesn't
Michael
know
like
about
that?
communication.
That's how they used to warn people, by like scaring them to death, you
Yes.
know? It's so
And
nice.
poor Michael, right? Joel's older
Yes.
brother. I'm like, if you're really a good guy, did you really have to do that to Michael? I'm not buying it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get that still. It confuses me. I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll get those answers.
Mm-hmm. I think you guys have a good point, though.
Yep.
Also, with Cricket's vision of trusting yourself, why is Jesse important? We talked about that a little bit. Why do we think Jesse is the one who has to do it?
That was so bizarre for
was
me.
so
I would
weird.
love anyone to shed light on
Anybody
that.
have theories on that? Because that came out of nowhere. You're
Jesse,
like,
okay, let's recap. Jesse, up until this point, has not been able to see Holyoke. Jesse, up until this point, has not really believed in or really had much experience
Last
with the
episode.
demons, except for the handwriting thing, which
Yes.
I predicted last time was fake, and that she was just doing it to be evil, which I guess is debunked now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because we saw what
Yeah.
she saw.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I guess that's debunked. So I thought she was making that up. So
Yeah.
so it wasn't until recently only Joel and Amy could see things. And so now I'm like, now why Jesse? This is weird. And she said, why me? And I was like, yeah, why her? Is it because Amy doesn't care for her?
But I think what we're forgetting is it was Jesse and I want to call her Amber, but Jesse and Cricket, that were best friends when they were younger, right? So maybe that's why she went to her, because they were best friends when they were kids, and like, I don't know, it's that connection that never dies.
They were.
Plus, again, Alex is shady, Joel's kind of crazy, Amy's being taken over by a demon. What's Deb doing with her life? Like, who are you gonna go to? Jesse.
So,
Well,
do you
but
have a
why
defense
not
for
Blair,
that,
though?
Ronen?
Yeah.
You're shady.
No.
No.
Yeah, he's like, no. Yeah.
He went for Amy from the beginning. I mean, she's beautiful, but like from the beginning, he was like, Amy.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's weird. I don't know. I'm starting to can't deal with it. It's shady
Yeah, well-
from the beginning.
well, I mean, I gotta defend myself in that. Alex to Alex. So Amy is the new girl. So for him, it was the only real challenge, at least in the lady world, whatever you want to call it. Because Cricket, he's known her. She's kind of like a side project. But Amy was was what he set his eyes on, because she's a new girl, she's fresh, she's a challenge, and then I mean, obviously attractive. So
Then he went after Cricket and she died.
Yeah. Let's blaze through some stuff. We got the Blind Man's Bluff game. Oh my gosh, that was a little bit like, I would not play that game with
Why
weird
would
stuff
you play
going around.
that now?
There were two things that I genuinely get scared very easily, and there were two things that this is the reasons why I don't like watching scary movies is when she did the Blind Man's Bluff game, and when he's like, I gotta burn down the cabin, is there anything you want to say to me? Creak.
And he went inside.
I was like, no, this is everything I hate about this genre. No, don't do it. And then they do it, and you're like,
Yes. Yep.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say the Joel parallel. We got the editing with Jesse at the morgue. Yeah, I called that. The bodies came back,
That
but they
was
were.
You did call that right away.
They're more of a vision though, because they don't actually touch her, but still,
Which is
they
nice.
that
came
was a
back.
cool scene. That was a really cool
So
scene.
scary.
So freaky. Oh my gosh.
And it was kind of weird to have the skeleton in a morgue like tray. I thought they'd be more on the table rather than, you don't need to keep it.
I think the only reason that it
Refrigerated?
works for it being in that little tray thing.
Because then you got the door blocking the bodies, and then she shuts the door, and boom, there's the body.
Yeah,
That
but that, and
happens.
also it's bones from an investigation that they need to like brush over and photograph like properly. It's not just like bones that they don't care about. They're bones that they're like investigating.
But it's weird to put them in the refrigerator kind of thing.
I just think that they need to lay them out, and it was probably easier than just
Yeah.
like putting them in a bag somewhere, because they did need
No,
to
not
like.
on a bag. It should be on like a table in the main room, not necessarily like, oh, it's out of the way. That's
Yeah,
true.
I just think I think that makes
true.
sense for that, because it's a special
Yes.
thing they're looking into. That's the only reason
True.
I was okay with it.
To be honest, that whole scene, the only thing I kept thinking is like, is she gonna touch him with her hands? Is she gonna touch him with her hands? What is she gonna do? She doesn't have a bag. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that was going through my mind. I was
loved
then
when
she
she-
got
Touch the
that-
bones?
Yeah, I was like, she gonna touch her? That's disgusting. Like, what do I? That's all I could keep thinking about. And then the bodies
that's a
came
good
out of
point.
nowhere.
They're just
Yes.
bones.
Ew! They're real people bones.
Have you not eaten like ribs before?
Okay, fine, touche, but like no.
All right, fair enough. Well, we've talked about Amy, we've talked about Alex, and we talked about Cricket. What is up with the double flirting? It's like, I was trying to hit on Cricket, and that didn't go so well. Yo, Amy, what's up? Like, quick turnaround.
I think
So
he liked
quick.
Cricket, but
I
I
know,
think he liked
but-
them both.
Equal
Yeah.
opportunist? Yes.
You like both?
We're just staring at you.
Yep.
Tell us more, Ronen. Tell us more.
Sorry, are you expecting an answer right now?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned before, he immediately liked Amy, and then she turned him down. So his only other option, pretty much, is, I mean, he
So
could have
romantic.
went for Jesse.
He could have went for Jesse.
Yeah.
What I wonder is probably because he's probably scared of Jesse, man. Jesse's intimidating, you know.
True. She wouldn't take his.
So he probably thought the easy way out would be either Cricket or Amy, and I mean, we saw how that went. So
Yeah.
You just got over Cricket's death a little too fast for me, you know.
I know. I mean, it's true. Yeah. I mean, I didn't write it.
You're like, it's the writers, it's not me. Well, we had someone in the chat ask, what was it like wearing the clothes? Did you like wearing the preppy clothing?
Because Alex is very particular about his clothing.
Yes.
It's not my cup of tea, let's say.
Okay.
For me myself, but it definitely helped getting into the character and trying to figure out why he's doing this. And then it taught me about that in the 80s it was very cool. And if you did want to show, you know, success and authority, I guess that was a good way to go at it. So it definitely helped for the character, but for me myself, no.
So, just a throwback, but do you think that Alex drugged Blotter simply because of the competition that they had?
Ooh,
do you
good
think
question.
that was the actual motive?
No, the main motive for him drugging him was that one of them were going to get in trouble and get kicked out of camp overall. So just like his whole motto is, if you want something, you got to take it. He knew that if he wanted to stay in camp and have this summer that he's been waiting for and be this person that he wants to be and, you know, possibly get the girl, he cannot obviously do that if he's getting kicked out like the first few days. So he took the opportunity. And it was also kind of that moment, if you guys remember in episode 2, when he sees the grandfather in the window.
Yeah, creepy grandpa, by the way.
I think the like unspoken dialogue there was the grandpa was like, you know, you got to do it. Boom. Yeah. So.
I don't know, Renee, you made a face.
I don't know. Yeah, summer camp's great, but it seems like
Renee's just so
staying.
anti-Alex. Dude.
this episode, you're such a good actor, but like you should have died this episode, and I'm questioning why you didn't. That throws me off so much because you know, why did they put that there? Why did the writers set up this scene with Amy and Alex, knowing that she was going to kill him, had the knife to his neck, and then didn't for giggles? That's so. There has to be more.
It's not like she was in her right mind to be like, oh, I like Alex.
Yeah, she's not like, oh, like I'll save him for later. Like clearly that's kind of a deal breaker in any relationship if you kill their friend. So it makes me think there's more to the story.
There definitely is.
Awesome.
Yeah, that you're evil.
Look forward to it. 2 full episodes worth of more.
Yes.
More to be revealed.
Well, then the other giant thing we had going on was the demon testing, and we got to figure out a way to test her. And then they do the testing with Amy, and like, guess what? It was all a trick. I thought that too, man. Like,
I thought so too. She put it in her hand, and I was like, it's
"Let me
burning
see."
her. She's got her poker face on.
Oh yeah. And then she says the name, and she's like, "What'd you say?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, she totally heard that name."
Yeah.
Or Malthus.
Yeah.
It was weird that she didn't respond to it though, but technically she did.
She did.
She went what?
What did you say?
Yeah, she did respond to it.
It was smart.
Tricky. So, okay, question for you guys. So they're saying that the demon possessed her.
Yeah.
Just last night was when they did that whole thing to her.
Was it really just last night?
I think
Recently.
so. Recently.
Sure.
So this is I do have to say something. I don't think she's the helper. Who do you guys think the helper is?
You don't think Deb is? Or who?
No, I don't think Amy is. Because I think she was
Oh.
fully possessed.
No, I think Amy's the vessel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but who's the helper?
Well, yeah, and there was that one figure we saw in the distance when Garrett killed the sheriff, and there was a figure sitting in the bushes, and we don't know who that was.
not Amy.
Originally, I thought it was Garrett's mom, just because she's like awkwardly around.
Yeah.
Garrett.
And she also was around when there was like sightings, and then his dad went missing, and she was like, "Oh, well, that's sad." Like, you know, I don't feel like it is as much now her.
Okay.
Because now I'm suspicious of Alex just being alive this episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
He could be the helper.
He's like,
He could be the
smiling.
helper, but I think that we earlier said that we don't think any of the campers,
The counselors?
the counselors
Yeah.
specifically, are really evil enough. But maybe the helper is just enough of a pawn to be in that position.
I would love for the helper to be one of the main characters because that would be like the biggest twist for the finale. And I think we're going up to a big twist.
Yes.
Because they're not just going to be like, trying to fight
Blair.
Amy for 2 Yeah, but like they're not going to be like trying to fight Amy for 2 episodes. Like there's going to be another big twist, and I think they're going to reveal that it's Alex.
All right, here we go. Someone in the chat said, I think the demon wanted to kill Joel more because he was more of a connection to Holyoke. But the demon also wanted to do it in front of everyone to show its power and manipulation. Good. I like that. That's very interesting.
Very good point.
So why
that's
not
a
kill
good
them
point.
both?
Yeah, why? Yeah, exactly. Why not just be like, boom, boom?
Why did Alex live, guys? That's.
It would have been so easy for her to just doop.
Just kill him. She could have killed him before they got there, but no.
Yeah.
She wanted
Yeah.
them to see that Alex was a victim and then not kill him and then kill the friend.
It's a good point.
Well, maybe they had a connection,
A
and
connection.
even the
a
demon enjoyed
connection.
it.
Okay.
I'm sure
Okay.
that's it. We
Yep.
solved the mystery, guys. Also, like maybe this is a lesson to Alex to stop carrying around his knife.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe leave it at home next time.
So, do we think we can trust Deb? Because that was my next note. So, if Deb shows up, she shows up so weird in this episode
Deb is
multiple
so
times.
funny.
And I'm like, maybe we can trust her, question mark? And Amy was just way too comfortable in this episode that I'm like, yeah, I don't trust Amy, which was founded. But what about Deb? Do we trust Deb?
I think we can trust Deb. I would love for her to be in on anything. I don't think she actually is.
Who, Deb?
Yeah. I would love for there to be a twist, and she's like, "Just kidding. I brought you all here to murder you." I don't think that's the case
I don't think
at
so
all.
either. But she's
Okay.
so funny. I think she's like that friend. Like all of her friends are like circle like gossiping. She's like, guys, like what are you talking about? And just whenever she's watching them, I just want to see right before she goes to find them. Like she's just alone. She's like, what is everyone doing without me? And then like goes to find everyone just to listen in. I think it's hysterical. I don't think she's bad, but I think that they tried to make her look a little. I wouldn't say suspicious, but a
Guilty.
little,
Yeah.
just because the way she's like looking
the
all
mask
around.
in the closet.
Yeah, and I think like,
The mask in the closet still hasn't been explained.
It has not.
It has not.
by the way.
Nope.
But
That'd be too much of a coincidence if it's a coincidence thing.
yeah, and guys,
like,
her backstory made me think she was innocent because why she doesn't want them to die. She wanted to do it for her friend. Like
Yeah.
I don't with her motive. It doesn't add up to me. That's
Yeah.
why I really want to be someone else with a motive that would make sense.
I do think that's a good point.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you got something to add there, Ronen?
Anything to say, Ronen?
No, this is actually really interesting to actually hear.
The theories? All right, all right.
Yeah.
A few people in the chat are saying they think Joel died because he knew too much.
But then
No, everyone knows too much.
everyone
They've been
knows
talking.
too much. That's
Yeah,
not an
that's true.
argument.
And then we...
Joel could have died. I'm saying Joel so could have died. It's just Alex also should have died.
Okay. Then we have the bones in the water, and we get the vision of the past. So we're caught back up to that. Now...
That was so scary. It turned black. I was like,
I thought she made the wrong choice.
I know, me
Everyone's
too.
dead.
I was like,
yeah.
crap. But then, well, lo and behold, we finally get to see what happened way back when, the 1800s. And that was something I wondered way back when, too. Way back when of our early episodes. I'm like, maybe Holyoke's not bad, and something happened to these people. We learn, no, they did not kill themselves. They were murdered. Which, there weren't that many cult people. I'm surprised nobody got away.
I know.
There's like,
know.
what, 20 people and like 5 cultists?
Well,
and they
they're
drowned all of
leaving it.
you? We don't know. And that was just a weird coincidence. I'm like, so was this a cult watching Holyoke and his little followers? And they're like, oh, good, we have a bunch of random victims to sacrifice now. It just felt kind of weird that how did they play
Okay,
into
first
that?
of all, they could have been dosed because they were about to do something weird with their baptism or whatever. They could have been in a very peaceful, meditated / drugged state.
They could have.
And also,
And at nighttime?
no one's armed.
That was weird at nighttime.
No one's armed. They
Yep.
were all looking away. I get that no one would really be able to overpower them, but it was weird that like none of the extras tried to run away.
I would have been happy if a couple people tried to like go to the edges and
then
maybe they
just
got
failed.
grabbed. Yeah, you just didn't get it. And then so they go, wait, we were wrong, and Holyoke's been trying to warn everybody the whole time. And then everybody's together, and then, oh, wait, where's Amy? And we got her at Eagle Creek, so we find that was all bad. And, well, at least, you know, Ronen, at least Alex got a quick little makeout session, you know, with Amy before she went all super cray-cray.
Yeah, you got your romantic summer.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Well, he was still missing cricket though. He did say that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean that that was, you know, aside from all the, you know, the physical stuff, that was Mick Garris. If you guys noticed, it was his second time directing an episode. He directed number 3, which was Cricket's backstory, and now number 8. And they enjoyed what he brought to the show so much, because he's like a horror genre legend. And if you guys noticed that shot when it's coming down on us, he said literally that's one of his favorite shots he's ever used, because it just, you know, it goes from the stars to the coming down. It was like, I think 50 or 80 feet in the air.
Wow.
So just technically that scene was really cool. And then you know, you just make out with Elizabeth Leo.
Yeah, that shot was really beautiful. And it was a good transition, because looking up at the stars, and now the stars are looking down on you guys. And then, we have the whole group come together, which is, again, conveniently suspicious, except for Blair. And Drew.
Blair.
Drew wasn't there either. Because that was when I really noticed. When my group shows up, I'm like, wait, where is everybody?
Well, it makes sense for Drew and Blair to be off on their own, because they didn't ever really
They're
go
making
with
out.
the group.
That's where they are. No.
But it's weird that we don't see Blair
Yes.
the entire episode, so I'm concerned.
weird.
I'm going into the next episode very concerned for Blair.
Yes.
I will, you know what, I just realized, and correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't get a Blair episode.
Not yet?
Nope.
No.
So, so he was gone this episode.
Yep.
Cricket went to Jesse rather than Blair, and they're new best friends as opposed to old friends, and she's felt distant to Jesse. And I mean, I guess we'd need to get more from Blair, because he's kind of just always been there, but we don't know too much about him, and what is he faking?
Someone in the chat said Blair's the helper.
Yeah, that would actually, considering just the fact that Cricket went to Jesse and not Blair, that already is kind of weird to me. And I think that if that was the case, the reason why Drew wasn't there is because they didn't want to make it look as suspicious as it would if everyone was there except for Blair.
Good point. I like
Because
it.
we know nothing about him.
Why would Blair be involved with those like super?
We don't know his background story. That's the thing.
don't.
They saved it for the last.
Yeah.
It's either I think actually the second to last episode they saved it for. That to me also means something. I think they're doing this in a particular order because they're
absolutely.
smart.
Yeah.
So why save his story for last? Because right now, wouldn't you think like, well, I don't really. What do you mean? Why would I care about his background story? He's like nice. He has friends. Like But everyone's faking something. Everyone's like putting on a show. So what could he possibly? What front could he possibly be putting up if so far he's been probably the most level-headed thus far?
I legit don't want to believe that about Blair. I'll be
I know,
so
right?
surprised.
I like him so much.
Good point. Good point. All right. Then the final last scene we have is the cabin with Jesse, Garrett, and Alex. And there's candles. She's tied up. I'm like, this could be somebody's idea of a romantic evening, but no, it's not. Okay, that joke fell so flat. Thank you. I was like, nobody laughed.
Sorry, I was like, someone in the chat
wait.
said that Blair was in the episode, but for like a second.
What?
Someone in the chat mentioned that he did appear.
Was he looking at the
When they were
eclipse?
doing the speech at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't think he said anything.
Yeah. I don't think it counts if he's just there for like the setup.
If he's in a group shot and didn't say anything, that doesn't count. And he doesn't, like, because everybody had little twosome chats this episode except him.
But he did sprain his ankle, right? Like
They
last
were like,
episode.
you're fine. But still, everybody talked with somebody in this episode.
Except for
him.
Blair.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
And then, we finally find out all about Jesse's DUI. That sucks. I don't know.
Sucks.
Would you do that?
So shitty.
no, but
I want
Mom
to say
goes
no,
to jail,
but she's a teenager.
Or you don't go to college.
She's a teenager. Maybe I would have been manipulated into doing that if I was a teenager. I don't know.
Yeah.
it's not even someone, like, we're so disconnected from that woman that we see, and we see it's such a toxic relationship. However, when that person in your life is your role model, per se, or someone that raised you, you're very influenced by them. Like, this isn't your best friend saying, like, let's switch. Maybe you can be a little level-headed then, but this is someone that, like, raised you, you trust with your life. Like, I get it. It's terrible. The whole time I was like, don't do it, but you know she's gonna.
Court date, she's going to be like, well, actually.
Oh, I so hope she does.
Oh, that would be so good. Oh,
But
I
will
hope
we
so.
see it?
Yeah, we probably won't see that. All right. Any other final thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, I had one burning question, and it was, I was so Team Cricket this episode. I'm always Team Cricket. She's just a delight. Even though I guess maybe she could be, like you point out, she wasn't you know, clean face. She had those weird scars, so maybe she's supposed to be evil. But there's something about her that I was just like, no, she's not. But if we can see Cricket, how come we can't see Blotter?
Good point.
Where is
Because
he?
we thought, someone asked that in the chat of where
Can
is
somebody
Blotter?
else see Blotter? Can Alex see Blotter?
Oh, good point. We don't know yet. Because we saw his head in the river. Or the lake. We saw a head, which implies it was
Alex
his head.
was involved with both of the deaths. Blotter he drugged before he got kicked out, and then while he was walking, he got killed. Cricket, he was supposed to meet at the dock, and then she got killed on the way.
True.
That's suspicious.
Yeah.
And then Alex happened to, you know, was looking all over for Joel and wondering where he was.
True.
It's a little weird.
Oh no, Alex, don't do it.
He just has this grin on his face. He's like, I'm not going to say anything.
Oh my gosh.
Any other fun stuff from filming this episode that you want to share with us, Ronen?
I mean, again, it was such a joy to have Mick Garris back. He's just, as soon as you come on set, he just has this energy. He's this tall, thin man with long silver hair, has been in the business for probably like 40 plus years. We got to shoot in some beautiful locations. I mean, as the entire show was. And then, you know, it was really cool doing, you know, because I wasn't in a big amount of the episode, but it was nice doing more scenes with Eli Gorey, who obviously plays Joel. And, you know, it kind of seems from episode even 1 that they might be like homies, or they were back in the day. But this was the first episode where I think we like interact in a pretty cool way. So that was nice. It's always nice to have, you know, your one-on-ones with, if not all of the actors. So it was,
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you haven't been able to have Alex interact with so far that you want him to interact with?
Probably Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Drew's
Yeah.
kind of shoved Alex off from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had that nice little moment where he gets the tape from Drew in episode 5, and that's when, you know, Cricket dies. But I think it's just because Drew's, you know, an outcast and has found only comfort in Blair and kind of Jesse. So, yeah.
Good point. And then any other fun stories from previous episodes? Because Alex wasn't in this one as much, but any other funny stories that happened from previous episodes or stuff you feel like sharing with us?
I don't know if I could tell certain stories, but I mean, it's been extremely fun. Yeah, like, you know, this really happened in episode 9 and 10, because I won't spoil anything, but we've had like crazy hours of going until like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. So towards the end of the day, you start getting a little loopy, and there's been hilarious times when we're on set and someone would just get a bad case of the giggles. And it's at that time, especially, it's extremely contagious. And you see people on the crew that are very, you know, straightforward and very serious, just let loose. And that's some of the coolest parts about working on a shoot like this. Because, you know, you want to be able to stick in that whole, like, mind state and respect everybody and make sure that we're really trying to get into the feel of the show, which is not, you know, giggly and all, especially towards the end of the season. Yeah, that's really one of the funnest parts of the show, is that when people just, you know, have a little fun and we get to take a breather and be like, okay, let's get back to work.
Any pranks on set?
Yeah, all the time. Alberto.
Alberto, that makes sense.
Yeah, we had him last week, so that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense for me, actually.
Has he gotten you good with any pranks?
No, me and him, we have our own bond, but he leaves me alone. He's learned that from week 1.
Oh, did you put him in his place then?
We just kind of, you know, we became like brothers, which is incredible that, you know, you hit it off with someone so fast that you never met before. And you're gonna be seeing for like the next 5-6 months. So it was really cool. That's one of the things that I'm extremely grateful for. Is I said it yesterday in an interview. I think I've honestly, and knock on wood, but I think I've honestly met some friends for life. So it's really sweet.
It really is like summer camp. You guys have bonded.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of the locations that we're at and the hours.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you get intimate with certain people, or you just form these relationships. You know, we see each other all the time offset. I mean, we're all back home now, but we would go out for lunch and dinner and see each other on the weekends all the time. So we were literally blessed to have a core of people that just hit it off from week one. So that's, I mean, I don't know how that happened, man.
That's
Good
awesome.
casting.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other final words you want to share with us, viewers, listeners, Ronen?
I mean, a lot of the points you made today, they will 100% be answered 9 and 10. You guys are definitely right about some of them. And about some of them. And no, it's really cool because I feel like a lot of people are digging into it the way you guys are, and that is really, you know, it means a lot to the writers, because they, especially Adam and Eddie, they're really big for, you know, creating twists and turns and hoping that people won't see everything for what it is immediately. And usually everything's revealed by the season finale, and that's what's going to happen in this show. I just got to be straight up, and yeah.
We're so excited.
Well, that's good to know, though. It's nice to know it'll be a satisfying, like, there's too many, that's the epitome of a horror movie, is those open endings and not knowing what happened.
No.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, good. We're all like, yes.
We want that
All right.
satisfaction of our
Yay.
predictions. And
Yeah, because, you know, it is a horror genre, but these guys are still masters of suspense and drama and mystery. So I feel like whatever you throw them into, they'll be able to do with anything, you know, even if it's a sitcom or something. It just comes down to they're awesome writers. They know how to write characters and relationships and twists. And yeah, I mean, it all starts with the writers, you know, so especially for television.
Definitely.
And yeah, I really got to praise those guys because they're awesome.
Well, we got to praise you for doing a great job in the show. Congratulations on such an awesome show.
Thank you very much.
It's been a real pleasure talking with you, and thanks for putting up with the delay of, you know, the amazing power of the internet.
yeah, we can see you, but you can't really see us clearly, so you did great.
It's cool, yeah, because I get to kind of see, like, watch your reactions to what I'm saying, and I'm like, okay, I didn't say anything retarded. So.
No, you were fantastic. It was great. It was real fun talking with you and hearing the stories about it. And we love having everybody who's been on the show in our studio or digitally or in person. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Because, we all love the show. We're huge fans. And it's such a great show. So, again, thank you so much for calling in.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to tuning in to you guys next week, because I know you're going to have a guest star. And that episode is crazy.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Even crazier than this one?
Oh boy. Well, it's been a great. It's such an honor to hear that you actually watch our after show too. That's
Yeah, thank
so
you.
cool
It's
that someone's
awesome.
in the show that we're watches us talk about it.
I
So
have to
it's
say,
great.
this entire Dead of Summer cast has been extremely involved with their fans and and everyone. They've been really good about live tweeting and responding to predictions and sharing. And it's rare to see a cast that close-knit and involved with the people.
Yeah, because, you know, we're all pretty much fresh to the business, and I mean, I know me personally, and most of us, if not all of us, it really is amazing to see people from all age groups all over the world. That's the craziest shit I've seen, is that people are like staying up at 4 a.m, 5 a.m. to watch our episode and then tune in for the live chat. And it just, I mean, it would just feel so wrong to not answer or not, you know, try to interact with them, because they're, you know, I'm sure they have better things to do, and it's crazy. But seriously, every single one of us is grateful for every single one of them, and then we're super grateful for people like you guys, because, you know, you give us the opportunity to talk about our show and let people know that, you know, this show is actually worth talking about. So I thank you guys.
Great.
Thanks.
Well, again, thank you so much, and we look forward to the final 2 episodes.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, and then thanks for staying up late. I know it's a little late, yeah. Thank you, and I think that's kind of it. And then after this, we'll get into our predictions. So you can watch that bit of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, I will.
Cool. Well, thank you again, and have a good night.
Thank you. You too, guys.
All right.
It's like you wave, and we're like, we're waving, and no, yeah, it was.
No one can. Yeah.
All right, guys. So, predictions. Oh my goodness, are we ready? Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I feel like Renee took it on this one. I feel like Renee you just took the cake because I like wrote down what you put together. I was like, but why? And this is weird. And she was like, because this and this and this.
She's like, damn, I got it covered. I know it.
I like knew something was off, but I didn't know how to articulate it. So I'm gonna let you make the predictions.
Okay, I will
right.
say, first of all, he was so cute and so nice. But, okay, so I think the helper is either Blair or Alex. Like,
Okay.
it has to be at this point. Plus, what Ronen was talking about with the writers wanting to make so many plot twists, this either or would be a huge plot twist. Like, if it is Garrett's mom, yeah, but would it be as fulfilling? I feel like they'd save the best for last. And
Yeah.
honestly, we've seen more of Garrett's uncle than we have of his mom. So for that was like, okay, one small little thing. I think if they had the ultimate plot twist be
You're
that
right.
it's his mom, it wouldn't be as fulfilling. However, being Blair, who we don't know that whole thing with his background story, we're just not familiar with him. What is he hiding? He's been so nice and helpful, and he's had friends. Nothing's wrong with him, and that's not what this show's about. This show's not about. This show's about kids that probably need a few years of therapy, and so far I have not seen that from Blair. So I'm thinking Blair or Alex.
All right.
But I would love for it to be Blair, just because I wouldn't see it coming. But like what does Blair have against
why?
Cricket?
Yeah.
But like I don't see the motive.
But we've only seen stuff from Cricket's perspective. We have not seen his past at all.
True. It's true.
true.
It's true. I just goosebumps because I just didn't see it
I
coming.
know,
Yeah.
Did you have anything on?
No, I don't think so. I guess my only burning
Yeah.
question is why can't we see Blotter? And maybe can Alex see Blotter? Like, because he would be the one who would haunt him. And also, why Jesse?
Yeah.
Like, why? I just mostly have questions. Why Jesse? Where's Blotter? And Blair?
Yeah, Blair, where are you at?
Where has Blair been? Yeah,
Where's
definitely.
Blair?
Where's Blair? But you know what? I'm just suspicious because of the physicality of him doing damage. He'd really have to be like a helper because there's no way he physically like pushed Cricket like across the way to fall. So,
I think
like,
that was
I don't think-
supernatural.
So
Okay.
if that was
That was a very supernatural
Yeah.
push. It was like
Yeah.
Amy bending her
Non-human,
head
yes.
back. It was like it was not human.
True that. Okay.
But if that was the case, then wouldn't that prove Alex even more so? Because if he knew that Amy would take care of that situation, got Cricket down to where he was to be at the right place at the right time, because if it was supernatural, but then again, so what is the helper
Maybe
actually
it's
So Alex
doing?
can- Alex
maybe it's
be
more. Maybe
possessed.
it's Alex, Amy, and somebody else.
It's quite possible.
Yes.
I still remember
it's
seeing
hard,
female
though.
hands at
Okay,
the
fair
crank, and it might have just been like an awkward extra, but I don't think so.
I don't feel anything's
On accident.
unintentional in the show. Yeah, I mean, it's so much. Yeah, any other predictions? Yeah. Well, also, why Jesse? Not just because it seems like she even expresses it herself. She's like, why me? So I'm kind of like, good question. Why you? I feel there's something more to her. And then people
You
are
know
saying
there's a
like
reason.
she's related to Holyoke or Joel was related to Holyoke, and I'm kind of like, okay, guys, are you just saying that because they're black? Kind of a thing. Of like, it almost felt like that. I'm like, why won't you say Alex is related, or why won't you say Amy's related? Of just like,
I don't think Jesse is, but Michael and Joel specifically just like seem to have the same like temperament and like height, and I don't know.
that one I would go with, but it's not
Not
going to be
Jesse.
more than one, and I don't feel there's that kind of connection.
So all of the people that have issues with themselves covering up who they are can see Holyoke. Maybe we haven't seen them all yet see him, but they all have the ability to see all these crazy things.
Okay.
Blair doesn't have any issues. We have
That
not
we know
seen
of.
him see
That we know- I
that
was
we
gonna
know
say,
of. That we know of. That
Yeah.
would make him. Is that the connection? Like I'm trying to, because I know last week, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but we were told that we will figure out what the connection is, why certain people can see Holyoke. So I'm trying to, like, what do they have? I don't think it's a related thing. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't think it's family. I think it must be, like, issues, right? Like, having issues.
But Jesse can't see him. And Jesse's
got a lot of issues.
But Jessie doesn't have self issues. She has the world coming at her issues.
And Jessie did see him.
She's okay with herself.
Yeah.
Did she ever see him?
This episode.
At the very end when they finally go into the cabin? Like, he doesn't appear to Jessie.
No, when she
saw like the
bones in
demon
the
and
lake.
stuff. No, but Holyoke wasn't there. It was
saw
Cricket.
him in the cabin when he's like, I made you come here.
Yes.
No, when he created the vision for her, I mean. When she threw the bones and it went black and then it redid that scene and
she saw him, yes, but she saw a vision of him.
She saw a vision of him.
Count.
Like, it's not like how Holyoke was like, Jessie, watch out. Like, he never came to Jessie and was like,
and Joel,
I'm warning you, like he did with other characters.
True, that's true.
And Joel's only thing is his brother committing suicide. That's not, which is a big thing.
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
like
not
his-
a personal issue. That's him.
But it is his issue of feeling like he's crazy. Like, that's been the insecurity the whole time of, like, he feels like he's crazy like his brother. So I guess it was like
Because
a
of
spiral
Holyoke.
effect. Because of Holyoke, as far as we know, it honestly sounded like, what did he say to Joel when Joel said when they said, like, you killed my brother, or someone said you killed my brother? What did he said something back to him that made me think it wasn't even him?
We talked about it, and we were saying something more like it was one of those you don't understand.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't even Holyoke controlling these visions.
Yeah.
Because Holyoke is the bad figure.
Yeah.
As far as anyone knows. He is like the face to this terrible thing that happened. And since like these visions aren't logical, perhaps like he was created to represent I don't know.
Okay.
Someone in the chat did mention that Holyoke isn't seen by certain people because Holyoke knows who the helper is and knows asking the helper is useless.
Dun, dun, dun,
All right.
dun.
We've had
Good
so many
work.
predictions. We've had a crazy episode, and we had a wonderful guest. I think we're gonna have to just wait till next time to find out more.
Yeah. They got me way too mixed up.
I know, we're gonna get
This episode has me
We're like,
crazy.
we can talk for hours about
Yes.
this and just dissect
all
it.
these things. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. So ladies, let people know where they can find you.
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
Thanks for all these awesome prediction guys. You can find me on Twitter and share your predictions with all of us. My Twitter handle is @Amber Plaster.
And my name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. Sorry, I was like it's KARIDLANE. And thank you so much for all the talking in the chat. I even like couldn't keep up with you guys. It's going too fast. I'm like
We love it.
And yeah, we love you guys interacting with us on Twitter. The hashtag is ABTVDOS. So AfterBuzz TV, Dead of Summer, or you can tweet directly at us. We love that and the discussion of it. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Thumbs up on the YouTube video, 5 stars, iTunes, and definitely comments in the YouTube videos as well because we can see those. And yeah, we love the interaction. It's great, guys. Keep it going. Again, thank you so much for watching. And we're just gonna have 2 more episodes to go. We can't wait, and I bet you can't either. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.